I love my wife more than anything. She is very, very pretty. Just, oof, I love her.
Do you understand all of that?
A judge asked Caleb Flynn if he understood the 5 charges against him, including murder, accused of killing his wife, Ashley Flynn. The judge asked Flynn whether he's a flight risk.
Sir, I just want to take care of my daughters. I'm not at risk.
How's it going, church? Pastor Caleb here. Hope you're having a fantastic week. Wanted to take a moment just to remind you that this weekend is the finale of our At the Movies series. We've had an incredible 2 weeks, but we have saved the best for last.
Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my, somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
Please hurry, please hurry.
Okay. What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
Silence is rarely loud. It does not argue. It does not slam doors. It does not announce itself as danger. Sometimes silence looks like composure. Sometimes it looks like faith. Sometimes it looks like a man who says very little and is praised for it. There were things Caleb Flynn never said in the weeks before his wife died. He did not say he was unhappy. He did not say he wanted to leave. He did not say he felt trapped. He did not say he had built another life in his mind, one lighter, quieter, free of obligation. And on the morning Ashley Flynn was found shot inside her home in Tipp City, Ohio, he did not say what prosecutors would later argue was already in motion hours before. Instead, he called 911. He spoke calmly. He said there had been a burglary, but investigators would later say there was no intruder. And 2 hours before his wife's death, he had allegedly sent a message to another woman. It's almost done. Welcome to Cold Case Chronicles. We look for the truth in the shadows of cold cases and closed files. If you value this kind of deep dive investigation, please consider subscribing. And as we begin this journey together, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Whether you're joining us from the United States, Canada, Australia, or anywhere else in the world, leave a comment below. It helps us remember that these stories, though local, touch hearts across the globe. This story begins not with a gunshot, but with a life that appeared stable. Ashley Flynn was known first as a teacher, a mother, a woman who organized her days around other people's needs. In Tipp City, she was familiar in the quiet way small-town kindness often is. Steady, present, unremarkable in the best sense of the word. She showed up at school, at home, at church. Her husband, Caleb Flynn, served as a pastor, a position built on guidance, steadiness, moral clarity. The image from the outside was simple, faith-centered family rooted in community. But perfection is rarely loud when it begins to fracture. Friends would later describe subtle changes, not arguments, not scenes, just distance, conversations that felt shorter, a tone that felt flatter. The kind of emotional withdrawal that does not register as crisis, only as fatigue. Ashley continued to move forward inside that quiet. She planned, she organized, she parented, she believed in repair. There is no evidence she anticipated violence. There is no indication she believed her life was in immediate danger. What she could not see, prosecutors would later argue, was that her husband had begun living in 2 emotional realities. One was structured and heavy, mortgage payments, parental responsibilities, church expectations, the daily repetition of commitment. The other was lighter. Phone records would later reveal ongoing communication with another woman, messages that were private, personal, emotional, an alternate world formed slowly, not explosive, not reckless, but deliberate. Affairs often begin as distraction, a place to feel seen, a place without the weight of shared bills or childcare schedules, a space where responsibility does not intrude. Investigators would argue that for Caleb, that space became more than emotional escape. It became a future, and the present became an obstacle. On the morning Ashley died, Caleb reported a break-in. He told authorities someone had entered their home, that his wife had been shot, But responding officers saw something that did not align with forced intrusion. No shattered entry points, no signs of chaotic theft, no ransacked urgency.
Oh my God.
Miami County, 911.
Oh my, somebody broke into my home. Somebody broke into my home and shot my wife.
Are they still in there?
I don't know.
Okay, what's the address?
Please hurry, please hurry.
Okay. What are you seeing?
My wife she's got 2 shots to her head. There's blood everywhere. Oh my God. Sir, please.
Ma'am, I need you to take a deep breath, okay? Do you still see anybody in the house?
No, the door to the garage was wide open. Please hurry, please. Oh my God. My daughters are here. My daughters are here.
Where's she at?
She's in the bed.
Are you with her?
Yeah, I am in the room. I'm looking at her. Yes, please.
Okay, do you guys have the door locked?
We have the doors to the garage locked, but into the house, yes. Please. Oh my God. Please.
Where's that room out in the house? My partner's getting them dispatched, okay? But I need you to answer my questions so I can get you help as fast as I can, okay?
What question?
Where are you guys at in the house?
I'm in the bedroom with her right now.
Okay.
My daughters are in their room.
So you are not with the children?
I was with the children when it happened.
Okay, but you're not with them now?
No, they're in their room. They're not even awake. Oh my God. Sir, please.
Okay. They are heading that way, okay? I need you to take a deep breath for me. Are you hearing anything?
No, I've rubbed her leg and said her name. She's not answering.
Okay. Your daughter's not answering you?
I'm sorry. No. Hold on. I'm putting on her shirt. What'd you say?
Your daughter's not answering you?
No, they're across the room.
Okay.
In their room.
Okay. Are you hearing any kind of noise inside the house?
No, her face is, her face is white as a ghost. Please hurry.
Okay, whose face?
My wife's face.
Your wife's face?
The one who was shot.
She was what?
Shot, I said.
Okay, where was she shot at?
In the head. I hope there's blood everywhere.
Okay, is she breathing?
I don't think so. Ashley, baby, please. Oh my God, no, she's not.
Okay, she's not responding to you?
No. Oh my God.
Okay, do you see anybody in the house now?
It's pitch black and the doors are locked. The door leading to the garage door was wide open when I ran in there.
Okay, do you see any kind of vehicles?
No. Wait, no. The door. There's a side door in our garage door that's open by the. Oh my God.
Okay. Okay, I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay? They're getting to you as quick as they can. Is that door still open?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What do I do?
Is she breathing at all?
I don't think so. There's 2 shots to her head.
Okay. If you are comfortable, I want you to go and find a cloth, and I want you to put a cloth on that gunshot wound, okay?
Like a towel?
Yes, like a towel, but do not apply direct pressure to it. Just put it on that blood wound, okay?
Okay. Oh my God.
I need you to just take a deep breath for me, okay?
Okay.
Just get that cloth, and I want you to put it on that wound, but don't apply direct pressure to it, okay? They're coming to you as quick as they can, okay?
I just laid it on her head.
Okay. Where are the juveniles? Are they okay? Have you checked on them?
I haven't checked on them.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
The police is here.
Okay. Can you go check on the juveniles for me?
Wait, the cops just pulled over. They just left.
Okay, I need you to go check on the juveniles for me, okay?
They're still sleeping.
Okay, you still see them breathing? You don't see any wounds on them?
No. The cops just pulled away. Sir. The cop is here.
Okay, I want you to... Okay, open the door for him so he can get into her, okay?
Okay, he's running. He's coming to me. Sir! Please, sir! What? I don't know. The door to the garage door was wide open. I'm her husband. I'm still here? No, I don't think so. You put the dog someplace? Yes. Come here. You need somebody to put a cloth over her head?
Yes,
I gotta check it out first. Okay.
Hey, ma'am, do you still have me on the phone here?
It's wide open.
Okay.
But I went here, and then there's a door all the way to the right. That one's open. Behind it. Oh my God. Yes, bring it. My daughters are in the bedroom over there. They're still asleep. Sure. Have you checked them? The 911. Yes. No, every door.
The home did not carry the violence of invasion. It carried something quieter, controlled. Law enforcement began documenting small inconsistencies, timeline details, statements that shifted slightly in wording, the difference between what was said and what was not. Caleb appeared composed. Composure is not guilt, but in crisis, grief has texture. It disrupts language, it interrupts breathing, it destabilizes posture. Investigators noted steadiness. Digital forensics soon became central. Phones do not grieve, they record. Deleted messages were recovered, communication patterns analyzed, location data mapped against timelines. And then there was the message. 2 hours before Ashley was shot, Caleb allegedly texted another woman. "It's almost done." Prosecutors would later argue that this was not metaphor, not emotional closure, not vague frustration. They would argue it was confirmation. The theory that emerged was not one of sudden rage. It was one of exit. Psychologically, the case began to take a different shape. There was no evidence of escalating domestic violence, no documented explosive arguments, no visible breakdown. Instead, investigators described gradual disengagement, emotional ceiling, a narrowing of empathy, shortened responses, increased secrecy, private planning. Ashley, by all accounts, remained invested. She continued parenting routines, continued teaching, continued participating in community life. The imbalance grew silently. Openness versus containment, effort versus withdrawal, repair versus retreat. Affairs create contrast. In the alternate space, there are no shared disappointments, no laundry baskets, no strained conversations about finances or fatigue, only possibility, and possibility can distort reality. In text messages obtained by investigators, the tone with the other woman was reportedly hopeful. Forward-looking, intimate. Fantasy does not require logistics. It does not require co-parenting schedules. It does not require dividing furniture. It requires only belief. But reality stands in the way of fantasy. Ashley's existence represented commitment, legal, social, parental. So if prosecutors are correct, what followed was not an explosion, it was a decision. The morning of the shooting, Ashley was inside her home, a place associated with safety. Domestic violence research often emphasizes escalation, raised voices, prior incidents, police reports. This case did not present that pattern publicly. Instead, authorities would argue the planning was internal. Control does not always look aggressive. Sometimes it looks quiet. After the shooting, Caleb's description of events centered on intrusion, a narrative of unknown danger, an external threat. But investigators found no physical evidence supporting forced entry, no displaced locks, no broken windows consistent with unauthorized access. The scene did not reflect panic from a fleeing burglar. It reflected stillness. Digital timelines further complicated the story. Location data from devices, message timestamps, search histories. Each detail narrowed possibility. Prosecutors later outlined a case built less on eyewitness accounts and more on pattern. The convergence of motive, preparation, and staging. Ashley's colleagues described her as dependable. Students remembered her consistency. Family members spoke of her investment in her children's routines. The quiet labor that rarely receives public praise. The children in cases like this are often described through absence. Missed hugs, changed schedules, silence at dinner. They were not part of the alleged motive. They were part of the weight. Responsibility is cumulative. It does not leave room for fantasy without conflict. Investigators would later present the alleged affair as central, but they did not portray it as chaotic passion. Instead, it was described as measured and sustained, a gradual relocation of emotional allegiance. Behaviorally, avoidance is powerful. Rather than confront dissatisfaction, some individuals withdraw. Rather than initiate divorce, they detach. But detachment does not remove obligation. When law enforcement questioned Caleb, reports indicated he maintained composure. Answers were given. A narrative repeated. The burglary explanation remained central, despite emerging inconsistencies. Language matters. The phrasing used. The sequencing of events described. Small adjustments over time can reveal adaptation rather than memory. As digital evidence mounted, the focus sharpened. The message, it's almost done. In isolation, ambiguous. In context, unsettling. Prosecutors would argue that it revealed foreknowledge. Defense attorneys would later contest interpretation, suggesting alternative meanings. Emotional statements taken out of context. Stress misread as intent. But juries do not examine single messages. They examine pattern, and the pattern suggested an exit strategy rather than an outburst. Ashley's death was not preceded by public threats. There were no dramatic confrontations recorded. Instead, the deterioration was private. Psychological withdrawal often precedes decisive action. When empathy narrows, when responsibility feels obstructive rather than shared, drastic solutions can begin to feel rational. Not justified, but rationalized. In court filings, prosecutors framed the alleged act as staged from the start. A constructed burglary narrative meant to redirect suspicion. Staging requires planning. It requires anticipation of investigative response. It suggests calm during aftermath. Control. Community members struggled with contrast. Pastor and accused. Faith leader and alleged planner. But roles do not define psychology. People can compartmentalize. They can preach commitment while privately imagining departure. The investigation unfolded methodically. Ballistics, scene reconstruction, phone extraction, no forced entry evidence, no credible suspect beyond the home. Gradually, the story of an intruder collapsed, and in its place, prosecutors built a narrative of entitlement, the belief that an easier life was attainable if the current one were removed. It is difficult to reconcile violence with ordinary mornings. Breakfast dishes, school preparations, routine messages. But many domestic homicides occur not in chaos, but in quiet. Ashley did not see herself as an obstacle. There is no evidence she anticipated becoming one. Her life was structured around stability. The alleged text message reappears in nearly every summary of the case. It is concise, unemotional, final. It's almost done. Almost what? A marriage? A burden? A life? Interpretation belongs to courtrooms, but pattern belongs to investigation. In the days following Ashley's death, sympathy surrounded Caleb. Community support, prayer circles, public mourning. Grief, when authentic, is disorienting. It disrupts routine. It fractures speech. Investigators observe steadiness. Again, steadiness is not proof, but it contributes to pattern. Digital evidence rarely lies about timing. It records presence and absence. It logs deletion attempts. It tracks proximity. Prosecutors would argue that the cumulative data contradicted the burglary narrative. And once motive was introduced, the affair, the future imagined elsewhere, the pieces began aligning. The fantasy world offered simplicity, no shared custody negotiations, no reputational damage from divorce within a religious community, no financial division, just removal. This is where the psychological center of the case rests. Not rage, not loss of temper, control, an exit without confrontation. When charges were filed, the language shifted from tragedy to allegation, from grieving husband to accused perpetrator. Court documents emphasize premeditation, not in dramatic terms, but in sequence. Communication before the act, behavior during, narrative after. Nor the alleged crime was presented as decided, not accidental. Ashley's legacy, however, cannot be reduced to legal theory. She was more than context in someone else's dissatisfaction. Students remember her patience. Friends remember her reliability. Family remembers her presence. Her life was not defined by its ending. As the case moved toward trial, public attention sharpened around motive. Affairs invite speculation. They provide narrative clarity, but clarity can oversimplify. The deeper issue is avoidance. When dissatisfaction is not voiced, when separation is not pursued honestly, when responsibility feels like confinement rather than commitment, silence grows. And silence can be lethal. Investigators did not describe explosive arguments in the days before Ashley's death. They described digital secrecy, emotional duality, planning. That distinction matters because it reframes the act not as a moment of uncontrollable fury, but as an attempt to control outcome. Court proceedings would later focus on forensic evidence, message content, and reconstructed timelines. Prosecutors would argue the burglary was staged. Defense attorneys would challenge interpretation, emphasizing reasonable doubt. But beneath legal strategy lies a quieter truth. Some crimes are not explosions. They are exits. Ashley Flynn's story forces confrontation with a difficult reality. That danger does not always arrive loudly. It can exist inside routine, inside polite silence, inside carefully maintained public image. The community of Tipp City continues forward. Schools reopen each year. Church services continue. Children grow. But absence remains at dinner tables, in classrooms, in photographs that will not update. As we reflect on Ashley's life and the allegations surrounding her death, we are left not with spectacle, but with warning. Control pursued without accountability becomes entitlement. Silence maintained to avoid discomfort can harden into decision. And fantasy, when protected long enough, can eclipse empathy. If stories like Ashley's matter to you, not for shock, but for understanding, consider subscribing to Cold Case Chronicles. Share where you're watching from. Engage thoughtfully in the comments. These conversations keep memory alive and remind us that behind every headline is a human life that deserves safety. Ashley Flynn deserves safety. And remembering her, clearly, respectfully, without distortion, is the least we can do.